This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
All right, everybody, welcome to the WWE Podcast. And we just got done with the press event in Vegas that was supposed to give us all of the answers. The press event we were told that was going to give us what we wanted, the answers we were looking for WrestleMania 40. And while we got answers, we at the same time got nothing. Now, that's not a complaint because we did get some developments. We got the answer from Cody. We know that Cody Rhodes is choosing Roman Reigns. We didn't get the reason why he's backtracking on what he told Roman last Friday night on SmackDown, that he's going to take Roman down, but it's going to be not happening at WrestleMania 40. So this is likely in direct response to the fan backlash. I think maybe they are actually bending to the will of the fans, and that seems to be likely. But Roman also, or rather Rock, looks like he turned heel. Did The Rock really turn heel at this press event? I mean, is that a good idea? Because if you do turn him heel, what does that mean for The Rock wrestling at WrestleMania? And how do you not get a mega match of The Rock and Roman Reigns? How do you skip that if that's the case? So again, we got the answer of really just supplanting The Rock with Cody, but we don't have any answers on Seth Rollins, on The Rock, if there's going to be a double main event, any of that. So we're still left really with the same questions we were left with, other than the fact that now we know Cody Rhodes is challenging Roman Reigns and choosing Roman Reigns, and that leaves Seth Rollins wide open. And I'm imagining whoever wins the Chamber is going to be the one to face Rollins at WrestleMania. So I mean, we'll get to the mailbag, the part 2, in just a second here, but I got to lead off with these. The reaction here to the press conference that was pretty big. I would say that I tweeted this out on X. I said that there's a good chance that a WWE press event has more attendance and more viewership than Dynamite from Wednesday night. So it's kind of a knock on AEW, but it also is probably half true and sad. But this was a heck of a press conference, probably one of the few press conferences that fans have watched. But we got developments, but no answers really, other than if you're looking for Cody Rhodes to be confirmed for the main event, he is, but there's still a chance of The Rock being involved in the main event with Roman as a triple threat. You could have a tag team match at some point with Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth, because it looks like The Rock was siding with Roman. They had the handshake. At the end, he was walking with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman backstage and was cursing, and a lot of cussing on this show, by the way, too. They didn't get all of it. There was some F-bombs even that slipped through, cussing at Triple H, and all of a sudden he's turning on everyone. But it doesn't mean that The Rock's not wrestling at WrestleMania. Those of you that don't think Rock is wrestling at WrestleMania, I have really bad news for you. I know some of you are like, see, Rock's not going to be in the main event. It's going to be Cody. And yeah, Cody is going to be in the main event. And you know what? I think he should be. But you really believe The Rock isn't wrestling in some capacity at WrestleMania involved with The Rock and or Cody? You don't know wrestling if you think that's the case. So again, we don't know what that part of it's going to be. But this was interesting, and I have a lot of interest in WWE programming moving forward. It's very compelling television. It is good that you leave with more questions than answers in some instances, but I think we're all just ready at this point to figure out and know what the hell the main events are going to be and how The Rock fits into this. We still don't know the full picture. And it's not, in this case, it's just annoying because myself, I'm sure you as well, whoever you are listening, are sick and tired of the speculation and the battling with fans and, oh, no, they're going to do this, not this, not this, not this, but maybe this. We're all just effing ready to say, please give us the gosh dang card so we can just start talking about the matches themselves instead of what could happen with the matches, right? I'm sick of it as much as you are, but if, again, I'll just reiterate this point, those Cody fans that think they've won, I will remind you that there is a 0% chance The Rock is not wrestling at WrestleMania. 0. He is wrestling at WrestleMania. Maybe it's Rock Roman on night 1 still and Cody and Roman on night 2 or vice versa. But Rock is wrestling at WrestleMania. If you don't think he is, you are lying to yourself or you don't know pro wrestling. And I'll leave it at that. So The Rock is not done. If he's turned heel and he's gone Hollywood Rock, I love it. I love Cody Crybabies. I think that is actually a catchy phrase. And it has kind of balanced out the We Want Cody hashtag on X. So this is a fun rivalry, but it's also exhausting. And I'm just ready for the conclusion of what is the match, right? What are the matches? For the love of God, just tell us so we can move on. But I really don't think... and this is the last point I'll make before I get to the rest of the emails and voicemails tonight. Just think about just a year ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, a month ago, when you heard about the potential of Rock Roman. Oh my God, mega match. That's going to be amazing. The Rock coming out. The fans are going to blow the roof off the place, whatever it happens. And we're here. Think about where we should have been and where we are with all the booking. And now Rock apparently turning heel and he aligns himself with Roman in a weird way, but we're still going to have Rock wrestling at WrestleMania. And now Cody's back in the match. Like, think about the mess we're in when it should have been so clear cut about Rock Roman. And I don't want the title on the line either, but think about that and how just muddied this whole situation is when it didn't have to be. It's unnecessarily complicated. And it doesn't need to be. It's pro wrestling. It should be straightforward, and it's not. And it's frustrating, and it's hurting my head just like yours. So that's where we're at. That's my take on the press event. Obviously, a huge SmackDown coming tomorrow night. I forget where it's emanating from, but a massive SmackDown coming your way. Alrighty, so I'll take a pause here, take a breath. Let's get to, we have a couple more patrons here that have written in over the last day. So let me get through those quickly. We have voicemails as well. I hope to get through everybody, but again, with everything going on, everybody wants a voice here, and I'm doing my best. Okay, this is Chandler. And Chandler says, wow, it feels good to say that again. Let me talk to you. Most of you have not noticed, but I haven't sent an email in like 2 months. Life got crazy, so I'm back. Buckle up because I have a mouthful. First, the first thing I want to touch on in the women is the women in WWE. I've bit my tongue for quite some time on this topic, but I can't any longer. Every time there's the backstage segment where they're arguing, it sounds like 13-year-old girls arguing. Like on SmackDown, Mia Yim, I'm not going to call her Michin, got into an argument with Tiffany Stratton. If I'm ever getting in an argument with another adult, I'm not going to say I'm standing on business. I'm going to say I'm standing like I'll beat your ass. Yeah, okay. Well, first, you brought up something, too, about calling her Mia Yim and Michin. It reminded me of a couple things in the press event where people couldn't get the names of things straight. Like, I think Bianca Belair called herself the WrestleMania champion at one point, and Rhea Ripley called Io Sky Io Shirai. So there were some kerfuffles, but I don't know. It reminded me of that. However, this has been a problem with the women for a long time. They always put women in a position backstage when they're arguing at like catty high school girls, like you said, in a position that make them look like they're teenage girls that are screaming over each other over a boyfriend. And they're always just, it's obnoxious. I totally agree with that. It is very off-putting for the women's division and how far they've come to continue to always do that with the women. Secondly, you have the Cody Rhodes situation is unique because I'm kind of for both sides. On one side, it's like, how did WWE do this match the exact way and the exact year we didn't want it? But then again, the fans are kind of being immature. Like, Daddy, I want it this way. The Rock, that is, not getting any younger. And he has so many commitments outside of WWE. So if you're going to pull the trigger, now's the time. Yeah, I mean, that's the argument. You actually, no matter how hard of a Cody fan you are, you can't deny the appeal of a Rock Roman match on a grand scale. You may not be personally interested, but you know that the general public would be. So it's it's a very interesting. The timing of Rock Roman here is it's very, very problematic if you want a clear-cut decision. Seth trying to convince Cody to challenge for his belt is absolutely comical. Like, do you want this belt that was made up 6 months ago and then defended more on free TV than a PLE? Or the belt that has a huge lineage and is held by a guy that if you beat him, you'll immediately be the top guy? Like, come on. Yeah, and also this belt got named inaccurately. I think The Rock called it the Universal Championship, and that's like half the story, right? That's why just name it the Undisputed Championship, or just go back to naming it the WWE Championship. The Universal Championship was, to me, a failed experiment generally, not a large-scale failure, but just based on what they've done with it, and it's merged now with the WWE, and I mean, it served this purpose, I guess, but I think it was generally a failed experiment. It was really a belt made for Roman Reigns by Vince McMahon, that's true. Yeah, I think it's the fact that WWE didn't bring in the truth about the World Heavyweight Championship, and they wanted to pretend for some reason that it was made out of thin air and given to Cody or given to Seth Rollins, was a massive mistake. The World Heavyweight Championship has existed for decades, and it disappeared for a while, and it was brought back, and it even looks similar to the one that was retired about 15 years ago by WWE. So it makes no sense that they would want to pretend it came out of nowhere instead of tapping into the lineage that it has. Because there is a lineage, they just pretend that it doesn't have one. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, the other thing is, reminding me of Seth, Seth and Roman, that's a match we need to see. I mean, I got reminded of just like, okay, now this is something I could absolutely get into. And I think it would be there'd be no controversy on who the fans would want to win that one. But, okay, last point here. R-Truth is probably one of the best things going right now, showing that comedy can work if done right. Yes. I mean, I don't know what else to say about R-Truth. He's brilliant. All right. Let's get to, okay, Tom. Tom, who has an unpopular opinion, said, "Hey, Matt and WWE Podcast World. I thought as a Cody supporter, I might need to message and express as to why we believe Cody needs to be in the main event. They've put so much into the title reign of Roman and so much time building Cody's story that most believe it would be an injustice to throw it away at anything less than WrestleMania. I truly believe that WWE sees this title reign as meaning more than anything currently, so I don't know how they would throw it aside to fit Roman Rock. Whoever dethrones Roman will be the face of the company, and with Cody being this generation's Hulk Hogan, we all want that euphoria moment of undesirable to undeniable, ending the grandest stage of them all. When was the last time we had that moment? Daniel and the Yes Movement? Well, I'd say Kofi Mania was kind of a brief. It was kind of like a poor man's version of the Yes Movement with Cody or with Kofi Kingston. But all right, continuing on. I know how you feel about Cody, but you can't honestly want it to be the Rock Roman at WrestleMania with Roman winning and staying champ for another year. I firmly believe Rock Roman should have been the build after Mania, no title, ego gone, holding on to the head of the table, boom, Rock starts the build to SummerSlam. I cannot in my head think of any way after the Rumble they thought they could move mountains to squeeze Rock in without the backlash. Thoughts, we want Cody, trends onwards. Okay, well, no, I never wanted Rock Roman for the title. Never. I mean, I would say I would take that over it never happening, but the title being involved with The Rock is ridiculous. Now, The Rock, people need to also remember this. Rock has been very clear. He's in this for the long game. So things may not just be very clearly ended at WrestleMania. Perhaps The Rock sticks around here and there through SummerSlam, and there's a big blow-off for something at SummerSlam. And even if The Rock is a heel right now, you know The Rock's not going to stay heel for long. He could get turned on by the bloodline, and then all of a sudden Rock is, trying to take down Roman Reigns and screw the family stuff. I'm just going to whoop your ass. There's a way to easily turn the fans in favor of The Rock unanimously, or close to unanimously as possible. There's a way to do it. You just can't have him positioned over Cody Rhodes, and that was their big mistake that they're trying to walk back. So you're right. No, I never wanted the title in the Roman Rock match. I've said that literally for years. And also, I'd rather have Cody take the belt off of Roman. Even though I hate Cody's character, he's the right guy to do it. I can be very objective here. You know, I can be truthful with myself that I hate the babyface character, but also be truthful that he's the right guy to take it off Roman. He is. So, okay. Also, only though for Seth and WrestleMania is Seth Drew. Oh, if it's Seth Drew, Drew wins. Cash in follows, pushing Drew over the edge. Let me know. Thank you. Sorry for the length. No, I don't want Drew winning if you're doing a cash in. Because then Drew would turn babyface. I don't want a babyface Drew right now. Drew is too hot as this heel character. He's brilliant right now. Seth should win, retain, cash in. Damian Priest is your world heavyweight champion after WrestleMania. That's my take. So, thank you, Thomas. Alrighty, let's talk to Sam. Sam says, what if The Rock, Cody, and Roman share the ring again, and then suddenly The Rock bottoms Cody? Perhaps Cody must defeat The Rock to get to Roman. Your thoughts? You know, I thought about that because The Rock told Cody we're going to have a problem now because Cody was dissing the family of Roman, which is by proxy the family of The Rock. Not even by proxy, directly. So I thought they could absolutely get to Rock versus Cody one-on-one, and the winner gets Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But I don't think they're going to fool around anymore with the fans and Cody not being in the main event or maybe being in the main event. They're done fooling around. I think Cody's in the main event no matter what happens from here on out. No more screwing around, fooling around, literally no more tomfoolery. But Cody and Rock, yeah. I mean, The Rock slapped Cody in the face. So Cody is going to be looking for revenge, and they could very well do that match. And that crowd reaction would be very interesting. Very interesting, because here's what I think is going to happen. The Rock is, if they're going full heel with The Rock, he is so damn entertaining as a heel that if they go full heel, it'll actually turn him babyface because he's so good at it. Do people forget how good he was as Hollywood Rock? The entrance music, the vests, the overly large belt buckles, the guitar, the sunglasses. Do people forget how good he was as a heel? So I think there's something to be said for that, where if they try to turn him full heel, he's going to be so damn good, they're going to cheer him anyway. There's so many damn things moving around here. It's impossible to get them all straight. But I like that. Yeah, Cody versus The Rock one-on-one. Bring it on. Heck yeah. All right. Let's get to another one here. Liam says, quick thoughts. Rock versus Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania is the worst idea I can think of. I would agree with that, Liam. I really would. Yeah. I mean, it sounds good in theory because you think you put them all together and problem solved. No. Because you're serving no master at that point. You're not appeasing the Cody Rhodes fans, but you're not appeasing the Rock fans, and it should be one-on-one with Roman. Both are great stories to tell separately. You put them together and things get muddy, and who's telling whose story anymore, right? So, but Rock is playing the game of, you need to fix this, that we do whatever we want. He suddenly pulled that out of the hat. So, he could pull on the TKO stuff that he's on the board. There's a lot you could do with this heel character if they're going full heel with The Rock. Okay, your idea about Cody beating Roman at the Chamber, then Rock Roman at WrestleMania with no belt is a great idea. Thank you, but that's clearly not happening now because of the press event and Cody saying it's happening at Mania. But I would have loved that, but they're not doing it. Imagine if Grayson Waller hosts the Grayson Waller effect at the Chamber and he hosts it with The Rock. I know I will be booing if Roman is not competing. Yeah, there's definitely something to be said with The Rock and Grayson Waller, but here's the thing. If The Rock's going heel, you don't want Rock on Grayson Waller's show because then they're going to side with The Rock over Grayson Waller. And once he rock bottoms Grayson Waller, the fans are going to be a little more endeared to him. And it's like, which path are you taking, right? So that would be fine if you're keeping The Rock babyface. But right now, he might be in a big transition. We still have no clue. I mean, it seems very heelish. And I'd say he's very much leaning heel, but it's not confirmed right now. Like about 80% of this is not confirmed, and it's annoying as hell. All right, keep it rolling. We've got, let's see, Ollie back from Australia. All right, Ollie, let's see what you got. With all this animosity in the wrestling community, currently with The Rock and Cody, do you think the WWE might go with this approach at the upcoming WrestleMania press conference? And do you think it's a good idea? I've completely taken this from Sportskeeda. Just wanted to get your thoughts on them. Roman Reigns' right-hand man, Solo Sikoa, could attack The Rock at the press conference and injure him. The Brahma Bull could then announce that he would not be able to compete at WrestleMania, bringing in the American Nightmare back into the equation. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers. Well, I mean, I can't comment on that because obviously I saw the press event. If this were to happen, though, if it did happen, I don't know if I'd like that because I don't want Solo Sikoa being a focal point in this. He doesn't need to be, because what does The Rock do? I mean, he's injured and then he does not compete at WrestleMania. That's not going to happen, right? The Rock is competing at WrestleMania. Love it or hate it. It's happening. All you Cody fans, cry some more, okay? It's happening. The Rock is wrestling at WrestleMania. I just don't know in what capacity or what combination with Roman, but it's happening. So take that into your soul. All right. Let's continue. This is Joey. And Joey says, hey, WWE Podcast, I just wanted to give my take on the Cody drama. I would like to think that this is all part of Cody or WWE's plan, although I'm sure they were not expecting the immense backlash from fans. Why are fans so eager to give Cody the disadvantage and put him into a typical Roman match with the bloodline interference? We are all tired of seeing this. Cody said that he wanted to take everything from Roman, so he sets up the Rock versus Roman and head of the table match at Mania. I would like to see the members of the bloodline, past, present, and future, ringside for the extra drama. Anyway, Rock beats Roman, taking over his head of the table, and that sets up Cody to challenge a defeated Roman without the bloodline for the title at SummerSlam. Cody gets his title, and a humbled Roman can start his babyface transition. Unfortunately, in this scenario, Roman would be champ well past WrestleMania, and a Royal Rumble winner would not get their WrestleMania match unless they do head of the table match on night 1 and night 2 you could do the title match, but I don't see Roman wrestling 2 nights in a row. Anyway, I'm excited for The Rock versus Roman and the rest of the WrestleMania card. WrestleMania is not ruined, Joey. Okay, a lot there. I will say this. As you were talking about this, number one, they're not doing anything at SummerSlam for Cody winning the belt. If he doesn't win it at WrestleMania, if Roman Reigns walks out of WrestleMania 40 as champion, take this to the bank, everybody. Roman Reigns is going at least to September as champion to beat Hogan's record. And that's tough to think about because that would be nearly 4 years with Roman as champion. Let that effing sink in. Now, the more I thought about it, the more I think Cody could lose at WrestleMania and The Rock officially joins the bloodline. Here's how it would happen. Cody Rhodes is in the main event. It's one-on-one Roman and Cody, right? Cody gets him in a position again. Say Solo Sikoa is taken out, or Jimmy and Solo are both banned from ringside, right? They are specifically banned. Both Jimmy and Solo are specifically banned. And if they interfere, Roman has to drop the belt and he immediately is dethroned, right? So they can't even touch the match. So who's left? The Rock. If The Rock is truly playing the long game, why couldn't The Rock screw Cody for taking his spot, insulting his family, and now you have potentially The Rock and Cody Rhodes facing off at WrestleMania Backlash, or they could go all the way to SummerSlam, and Cody loses again because of The Rock. Think about the nuclear heat for The Rock. Boy, I mean, I just thought about that scenario as I was reading your email, Joey. That's not what you asked, but that's what triggered something in my mind. So, but the more that I think about it, the more I'm thinking Roman probably doesn't do 2 nights because again, you create a lot of internal struggle, a lot of really kind of demoralizing, or rather, I don't know if demoralizing is the right word. I guess culture. Well, I can't think of the right word. The morale, that's the word. I think it would really tank morale if nobody but Roman Reigns main evented WrestleMania. he would be doing Rock Roman night 1 and Cody Roman night 2, and nobody else. No, the World Heavyweight Championship doesn't get the main event. The women don't get a spot in the World Heavyweight in the main event of WrestleMania. So yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it's. I keep waffling, but it really would be a big problem, I think, from a morale standpoint. So, all right. Thank you, Joey. Thank you. We're rocketing through these guys. There's so many. I really don't know if I'm going to get to them all. There's still, I've still got, I can count for you, over 10 emails, and I don't want to, oh boy. All right, let's get to a patron. I'm sorry, I've got, let's see here. This is Joe. So Joe says, he's a patron, and thank you, Joe. Hey, Matt, I want to clear up what I meant by comparing Vince and Benoit that I should have explained in my email last week. I agree that the two had completely different crimes. My meaning was that they both had a massive amount of work and contributions to the business, the history of the business. I myself am not going to cancel that, but both are forever shamed in my opinion. Yeah, I totally agree. No doubt. I do kind of remember that email, but no. I hear what you're saying. And they both forever are a stain. They're stained now, and all their contributions are going to be not forgotten, but they're not going to be remembered by WWE any longer. They're going to remove their content. They're going to take them out of everything that they can, promotional material, the archives. And it's a damn shame because Vince McMahon, we're all here right now because of Vince McMahon. You know, as a wrestling fan, the effect that pro wrestling and WWE has had on our lives. If you're a longtime wrestling fan, think about all the things it's done to your life, for your life, and I can guarantee you most of it's positive. And so Vince McMahon's contributions cannot be undersold enough or oversold, but he's unfortunately going out in disgrace, and it's a shame to see. Okay, moving on, that Rock Reigns is happening. I had a theory that if The Rock wins and becomes champion and overthrows Roman as head of the table, or even if Roman defeats Rock, the victory is short-lived as the Judgment Day comes down and takes out the Bloodline. Priest cashes in and the Bloodline goes away for a while, only to return in the later year as a babyface faction to seek revenge against the Judgment Day. I say this because the promos Judgment Day claimed a few times throughout 2023 they are the superior faction. What are your thoughts on that? I think eventually these two factions are going to go head-to-head. But right now they have really nice homes on the brands they're on. They help shape the brands that they're on. They're actually faces of the brands that they're on. So I wouldn't do it this soon. I really wouldn't. I like your idea generally, but also the Judgment Day I don't think are ready for that position yet. They have their own they have their own things going on right now. They have their own storylines going on. They're still tag team champions. They got to drop that to probably Awesome Truth. Priest still, like you said, he has to cash in. But I don't think Priest cashes in and gets himself involved in this whole mess. I still believe he stays on Raw. And I think he should, at least in the short term. But the Judgment Day, or rather the Bloodline, I would agree with all the emailers tonight. Like the Judgment Day or the Bloodline will be baby faces in about a year. I think this time next year, leading into WrestleMania 41, we're talking about a perhaps reunited Bloodline with Jay coming back into the fold or thinking about it and reuniting with Jimmy, and Roman is no longer champion, so the heat on him as champion has gone away, and him coming back is actually feels special because they aren't angry that they see him, and it's just a reminder that he's holding a championship hostage. So the Bloodline are positioned really kind of soon in the next 6 to 12 months to be a really big babyface faction if they want to go there. So, all right. Thank you, Joe. Let's see. I'll get a couple more in, guys. I mean, this is like a record amount of emails. I promise I'm trying. Let's talk to Seth. I'll keep this short and sweet. If these innocent or incessant boos keep erupting on the road to WrestleMania and at WrestleMania for this match, just move it to next year. It will probably destroy the whole story and leave a bitter taste in our mouth. This is asinine. One more thing. Would The Rock even want to do the match next year after everything that's already unfolded, though? Sure. Why not? You could, WWE, if The Rock is truly serious about playing the long game, it really depends on what he means by long. Does it mean a couple months? does it mean a year? If it means a year, you could have The Rock join the bloodline, screw Cody, and over the next 6 to 12 months, build to Rock Roman one-on-one with no title on the line, and he's betrayed by his cousin. I think you could do that. You could build to Rock Roman at 41. You really could, with The Rock coming in and out of wrestling over the next 12 months. I mean, he's going to, if he does this, he could wrestle every 3 months, kind of do the Roman Reigns schedule, right? He could wrestle every 4 months, just like maybe the big pay-per-views. He wrestles from WrestleMania, maybe Backlash, but then skips to SummerSlam, and then he goes to Survivor Series and Rumble and then Mania, where he only wrestles a few matches, but it keeps the storyline going, and maybe he shows up for a few TVs, and you build to this match with Rock and Roman after The Rock helps Roman beat Cody at WrestleMania, and The Rock goes full ass heel. Oh, it would be, you know what? I wouldn't hate that. If I have to wait a year to get the match that I've wanted from Rock Roman, truly the way it should be, with Rock as a mega babyface, Roman as a heel, no title on the line, that is how it should be set up. And I'm willing to wait a year. If this is 100% committed, I'm down for it. So, I wouldn't hate that. Thank you, Seth. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go to Omos. And Omos says, I'm back. R.I.P. Rhea Ripley. Nia Jax really squashed her. Rhea is dead. Sad. P.S. My name really is Omos. My mother is Nigerian and my father is American. Well, very cool, Omos. Or is it... Okay, is it pronounced Omos or Omos? I don't know which it is. But I love what you just come up with the great stuff, Omos. I mean, you do. Nia Jax squashed her, Rhea's dead. I need these emails. They're a nice palate cleanser. Thank you. Okay, let's go to... I did talk to Kareem. Yeah, I did talk to Kareem, so I can continue. Let's talk to Milan. And Milan says, I think part of this whole mess is WWE testing the waters. They want to see how the crowd reacts to Cody Roman and Rock Roman, and Monday Night's Raw purpose was to test Cody, Seth, and maybe even draw Drew into a triple threat. There's a reason no matches have been announced. I think they're getting their answer, and I expect them to pivot appropriately, even if it means The Rock acting as a heel for a little while. They'll sell it off as this was all part of the plan, because why wouldn't they? But I think they have a set of plans. Eventually, somehow, in some way, I think this ends up with Cody against Roman at WrestleMania. The only way it doesn't if Triple H sets his mind and he wants Roman to break Hogan's record. In that scenario, why would they drag out Cody again to lose? I know people want Cody, and while I'm not his biggest fan, I'd rather see him do it in September and win than have it in April and have him lose. I mean, you could. The more I think about it, the more I'm thinking that Roman walks out of WrestleMania 40 as champion. It just seems like it's the most plausible solution, because Rock would go full heel, screw Cody. Cody would be looking for The Rock. You could do a Cody-Rock match at SummerSlam for revenge if they want to go out that far, or you could do it sooner. And then you get Rock eventually turning back babyface to face Roman next year, non-title. And then you get Roman beating Hogan's record. And you kind of kill a lot of birds with one stone, other than Cody Rhodes fans having to get another dagger stuck in their heart for yet another loss for Cody Rhodes. So there is that. But there's a lot to be said for pivoting to The Rock as a heel and kicking the can down the road. Boy, there's so much. And if Rock, he keeps saying he's playing the long game, and boy, this could be it. All right. Let's talk to Ryan. Ryan says, hey, Matt, on the Weekend Review show, I was glad to hear the discussion about how bland Becky Lynch has been. I only began watching WWE again in mid-2022, and my only exposure to Becky has been since her return as the man during this time. To say I have not been impressed would be an understatement, as I constantly wonder why WWE insists on telling viewers how great Becky Lynch is while she continues to have totally forgettable matches and deliver horrible promos. Oh my gosh, the promos. She can't get a crowd reaction for anything in her promos. I think it was in Indianapolis last year where she tried walking through the crowd, talking football like How about them Colts? Her only talking point seems to be that she is the main event at WrestleMania. Beyond that, it's just uncomfortable. Beyond the weird part is, I love to hear her speak in interviews outside WWE. She's happy, smiling, and honest. She should really try to drop the angry, scowling personality and incorporate her real personality into the character. I mean, she's supposed to be the babyface, and yet she comes across as just miserable. Needless to say, I agree with you that Becky needs a change in her character. I know a lot of people like her. I've just been trying to figure out why, I guess. Thanks for enduring my rant. Now, more importantly, where is Pretty Deadly's match at Mania? Well, I have not mentioned Pretty Deadly. I mean, I don't even know the last time. But to stay on point, Becky Lynch, I think she actually did a nice job tonight. She seemed more loose than she has. She did have a nice face-to-face with Rhea. I think that's where they're going. Definitely a foreshadow. And you talk about Becky being a heavy favorite. That's not even the right words for it. She's almost everything but a guaranteed win to come out of the chamber as the winner to face Rhea at WrestleMania. So I think she had a good night generally. She didn't pucker her lips after every sentence. She's been better about that. So maybe she listens to the show. I don't know. And she didn't go into her promo voice. You ever notice? Like, that's exactly what you're talking about. She goes into this promo voice. And it's like, bruh. She calls herself the man, so I can call her a bruh. Just talk to me. Don't go into promo mode. It's like this. She just switches something in her brain that goes, oh, I'm cutting a wrestling promo. Let me change how I speak and the cadence of my voice. And it's like, no, stop. And I think that's a lot of the criticism that you're speaking of. But I think Becky Lynch is repairable, but she needs a kick in the ass with her character. I don't think turning her heel is the answer. We've been down that road. But also, is there really anything they can do to not get her booed at WrestleMania versus Rhea Ripley? I understand in Perth, it doesn't matter who you put against Rhea, they're going to get booed. Rhea's going to be, the hometown hero. But when it comes to Becky Lynch facing Rhea even at WrestleMania on neutral ground, there is no chance Becky Lynch gets the majority of support. Rhea Ripley's on a roll, and the fans are loving it, and there's no reason to have the belt taken off of Rhea. So I think it's going to be kind of a lost cause, even if they do repair Becky Lynch's character, because she's going to get booed at WrestleMania. So, all right, let's talk to maybe a couple more, and I'm running out of gas, guys. This is from Amber. Amber says, hey, Matt, I'm sure you get tons of emails this week, so I'll try to keep it short. The only way I can see WWE getting themselves out of this mess by forcing Roman to participate in Elimination Chamber and dropping the belt to Cody there, having Solo and Jimmy interfere, it looks like Cody is going to lose in the typical Bloodline fashion, and at the last second, The Rock makes the save and Cody hits a lame-ass crossroads. 1, 2, 3, Cody's the champ. This gets the belt off Roman and onto Cody so he can finish his bedtime story, and it also gets The Rock back in the good graces of fans so he can have a non-title match with Roman at WrestleMania. That's also another thing. I mean, I've been just advocating for The Rock turning on Cody and screwing him. It's also just as likely that in order to get Rock back into a babyface mode, you have Rock make the save in terms of evening the score. You can't have the Cody fans go, oh, wow, Cody needed The Rock's help, because then Cody's beloved victory and long-awaited victory would be tainted by he needed The Rock, right? And I understand that. But if it's to level the playing field, I think it's warranted, where you have Jimmy and Solo screwing Cody and Rock comes out and just attacks those two to even the score, and then it's back to, mano-a-mano, Cody and Roman. Then sure, I think that would be okay. On another note, have you noticed that over the last couple weeks, Cody's been wearing not one, but 2 suits on TV? They show him arriving backstage in one, and then later on in the show, he'll come out and do a promo and show us all how he uses a thesaurus in a completely different suit. I'm sorry if this offends you. I know you're a huge Cody fan. You love his suits. Thanks for reading. Love the podcast. Well, thanks, Amber. I don't notice that. I mean, I've just stopped caring. I'm not caring, but I've stopped trying to get it or letting the suits annoy me, because he's just, the best word is tool. He is a tool, a very talented, a very successful, and it seems like a genuine human being, but that doesn't mean you can't be a tool. And with him bringing his dog I mean, what? He brought his dog? I've never seen in 30 years of watching wrestling, I've never seen anyone bring their dog with his stupid sunglasses and his smiling and his suits. No, he is a tool. Again, extremely successful, amazing in the ring, good promo, but he's still a tool. So, thank you, Amber. Oh boy. Where do I want to go? I mean, I've got 2 long emails here that I just I don't know if I have the energy for it, guys. I don't know if I have the energy for it, but I'll try. I'm going to try to rock it through, and I may kind of shorten it, but all right. This is from Tommy. Tommy says, warning, massive rant incoming. The Cody Rhodes fans, they're the most brainwashed fans I've ever seen. The guy returns to the company after starting up AEW, then goes 3-0 over Rollins, wins back-to-back Royal Rumbles, has his hands dirty and everything. Mr. Bleach Blonde, always wearing his stupid suits and dumb rhetorical question for a catchphrase, he's the reason behind the returns of our favorite wrestlers like Orton, and now even The Rock. He talks like an ass, forever using long fancy words to sound intelligent. The guy on screen is unlikable and smug as hell. The fans are eating up what WWE are feeding them with Cody, and the fans believe they can force Cody Rhodes into the main event. That's likely what WWE wanted anyway, for Cody to get super loud reactions. The worst thing is, I've seen many fans label this the We Want Cody movement and comparing it to Daniel Bryan's Yes movement. Nah, sorry, not even close to the organic love Daniel Bryan built for years. Cody versus Roman. If the fans let it build, it will be a great main event story, and should hopefully conclude this version of the Bloodline. WWE creatively have really screwed themselves over with the way they booked Cody to win the Rumble. Once they made that bed, they should have lied in it. The Rock taking the rightful Rumble winner's spot at Mania is laughable and setting a bad precedent. Had Punk won the Rumble, he could have set up a championship match with Seth Rollins, leaving the door open for Rock versus Roman. Punk got injured. Damn, at least he could have announced his injury and vacated his rightful championship opportunity to the winner of the Elimination Chamber. The Rock versus Roman could then build without the messy controversy, short-term booking, with little future-proofing. Hell, the Vince stain is hard to wash. Take care, Tommy. Well, thanks, Tommy. Okay. I mean, I don't know how to add to this. I really don't. I don't know how to add to this because I'm just so burned out of this whole thing. I'm so burned out of it. I mean, I really don't know what more to say about it. You know, there are a lot of ways to skin this cat, and it's going to piss off a lot of people moving forward. No matter what path you choose, fans are going to be pissed. It's really fascinating how WWE screwed this up. And let's be honest, I think they screwed this up in terms of the mega match of Rock Roman and what it should have been and how simple it should have been, which is Rock mega babyface, Roman mega heel, no title. Roman is talking about how no one is, he's the most superior man in his family and that no one is left in WWE that is worthy of him, of challenging him. And out comes The Rock. Boom. Massive reaction. Simple to understand. No issues. And they've somehow found a way, the 1 in 1,000 way, to screw this to make this so complex and so mind-numbing. It's not bad. It's just overcomplicated when it doesn't need to be. This is pro wrestling, right? I mean, this isn't us sitting and pondering about the wonders of the universe. This is about pro wrestling, and this has become way overcomplicated. And I'm burned out. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just frustrated generally with how this whole thing is played out. At the same time, it's compelling television. It's just soul draining. So, very weird combo here. Okay, let's see. Let's go to James. James B. He says LWO defeats the LDF, El Legado del Fantasma. Bailey defeats Io Sky. Oh, I see what you're saying. This is your WrestleMania 40 outcomes. The LWO beats Legado del Fantasma, Bayley beats Io Sky. KO and Sammy defeat A-Town Down Under. Jade Cargill defeats Bianca Belair. LA Knight defeats AJ Styles and Logan Paul. Awesome Truth defeat the Judgment Day. Jey Uso defeats Jimmy Uso. Pride defeats AOP. Bad Bunny defeats Dominic Mysterio. Becky Lynch defeats Rhea. Orton defeats Solo. Gunther defeats Braun Breaker. Kabuki Warriors defeat the Unholy Union. And Roman defeats Cody and Rock. Interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, I'm going to go to one more. This is it, okay? There's just, guys, I got to stop somewhere. Then this is it. So everybody that didn't get their email read, I apologize, okay? I do. I really apologize. There's just too many. So this is from Thomas from Montreal. He says, "Hey, Matt, I figured I'd write in the mailbag to address what's happened this week. Friday evening was one of the best episodes of SmackDown in a while, but it was masked with the lazy creative booking of Cody, Roman, Rock. I, like most fans right now, wanted to see Cody finish his story at WrestleMania. However, after giving this some thought and consideration, I figured out what WWE is doing. Roman is never going to lose the belt before September when he beats Hogan's record. After that, all bets are off. Both Roman and Heyman have publicly stated that the Tribal Chief gimmick doesn't work without the title because it lessens the credibility as the dominant member of the family. So having him lose at WrestleMania before facing The Rock doesn't make sense. Hence why they feel like they have to do Roman Rock with the title involved, since Roman's character needs the title to work. Get this dream match out of the way so Roman can beat Hogan's record and then build for Cody later in the year. The reports are that Cody will win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania and later in the year challenge Roman for a title unification match where he will win and end Roman's reign, unifying both belts. I'm not a fan of this at all, but I like how they're stringing this along and building more support for Cody. The way they pulled it off, it wasn't the greatest, but I believe Triple H has a long-term vision for how Cody is going to win the title off of Roman and get the biggest pop possible. Reports are that there's a lot of support for Cody taking the belt off of Roman, so I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. Also, can we talk about how cool it is that Bayley and Damage Control segment was? Literally made me almost cry for Bayley when she started choking up talking to Io. I'm so excited for that program and the eventual baby face turn for Bayley. That's all from me. Keep up the good work as always." Okay. Well, I mean, not to spoil the future there, Thomas, but none of that's happening. And I know that because I just saw the press event. Even if I didn't see the press event, I think all of these ideas are horrible. Not you, Thomas, but if these were actually true, they're horrible on a number of levels. Number one, unifying the belts, again, is horrible. The purpose of the World Heavyweight Championship was to be I don't want to say number two, although it is, but to be a secondary, and let's call it what it is, prize to Roman's championship so that the other brand had something to fight for. It would defeat the whole purpose of creating that championship. Also, having Cody win at SummerSlam would piss off the Cody fans who just wanted to be rocking Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. I mean, they've been very clear about that. But I don't mind the whole build to Rock Roman at 41. If they're in it for the long game, hey, let's go. They did John Cena and The Rock. They built that for a year, and it worked. So, thank you, Thomas. Again, everybody else, I know I do see at least 3, 4, 5 emails here that we didn't get to. And what I'll do is on the week in review, I will do my best to answer those emails on my week in review. So maybe that's what I'm going to have to start doing, is for if the volume continues at this pace, and it's not a complaint, because I appreciate all the support and it means things are going well. But I also I can only go so long. But I will make it a point to maybe infiltrate some emails during my normal shows, like during Raw, my Raw review or the weekend review, just so there are times and that everybody gets a chance to get on the show. So, all right, that's it for the emails. Let's get to a couple of voicemails. Again, we have we have some voicemails that I don't know if we're going to get to all of them, guys. This is just kind of the nature of the volume of things I'm getting. So let's get to patrons here. We prioritize patrons always here on the show. So let's get to the patrons to see what they have to say.
Hello, WWE Podcast. This is Sharon from Israel.
and I've got these things to say to you. We won The Rock, Cody sucks. We won The Rock, Cody sucks. We want The Rock, Cody sucks. We want The Rock, Cody sucks. Roman, yes! Roman, Cody, no! And if Cody fans wants to find me, my address is Washington, D.C., America, the White House. I'm living there. If they want to find me, they can come there and try to kill me, because they cannot. And let's do it again. We want The Rock, Cody sucks. We want The Rock. And I'm still in the 3 minutes limit, so let's say some more things. Finally! Great things has come. This WrestleMania is not going to be so much expected. I'm so happy that he won't have so much boring thing of Roman Cody, and let Cody finish the story, and Cody finished the story and he's the champion. Oh, we didn't know it will happen. So no, let's hope it won't happen. What Rock did is the greatest thing ever. Thank you, Rocky. And yeah, now WrestleMania has been so much exciting. Now Cody is finally something, just, I'm a son of Dusty Rhodes. I must finish the story for my father. No, that's it. No such thing anymore. Now you have your own story. Now people love you. Now you are something. Cody need to thank The Rock and say with me once again, we want The Rock, Cody sucks. We want The Rock, Cody sucks. Thank you everyone, thank you Matt, have a good night, peace.
All right, Sharon. I think I know where you stand, but I'm not exactly clear. You know, I'm not totally clear on where you stand, so you'll have to bear with me as I try to decode what side you're on. So bear with me. It might take a while to decipher. So I think after you've seen the press event, you're probably not a happy camper. All right. I'm very interested to see what your reaction is now that the press event is over and it's confirmed that one way or the other, Cody Rhodes is challenging Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania. Whether The Rock's involved in some capacity or and I think he will be, it remains to be seen. But it is Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. That's 100%. They wouldn't do that at the press event and then change it again. So, all right, Sharon. All right, thank you. Let's get to our next one.
Podcast world. This is DJ Kuzma back at it again on your Mailbag show. Record to you live on a Wednesday morning on another cold, another dreary Wednesday morning. And before we get to the Veer Mahan Report, I got to give a shout out of shout outs to none other than the Pebble. It was great listening to your email last week on the Mailbag, buddy. It's been a long time since we heard from you, but it's great to hear that you're back. Hopefully you can be back on the Mailbag this Wednesday and next week. But whatever the case, baby, I don't know if you and Alex, the French guy, have that feud going along for the European Championship, but man, oh man, there were some great times in the Discord and great times hearing from you back and forth with none other than Alex, the French guy. But whatever the case, baby, hopefully we get to hear from you, the Pebble. Great to hear you last week, buddy. Hope all is well with you and your family. But now let's get to your favorite show to come in every single week on the Mailbag. And I'm talking about the Veer Mahan Report. The Veer Mahan Report took place this past Monday night on Monday Night Raw, live from St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, I did say St. Louis, Missouri. And yet again, we did not get to see an appearance of the End this year. I don't know what's going on. Last month, everything was going so well with Jinder Mahal being highlighted in profile matches with none other than Seth freaking Rollins, and then sharing the ring with none other than The Rock. See, like things are now going back to where they used to be. I don't know what's going on, and I want to see where this goes on the road to WrestleMania for the end this year. For crying out loud, we had a Fatal 4-Way this past Monday night, and they were not even included in this Fatal 4-Way. Yes, I know we had all of the big name tag teams like the Creed Brothers and DIY and all of the others, but you could have at least had none other than the end this year of my guy Veer Mahan and Sangha. But whatever the case may be, let's see what happens next week. Let's see where maybe we get an appearance backstage with Adam Pearce. Maybe we get a vignette. But I want to see the continuation of the end this year being profiled on Monday Night Raw. Now, with that being said, this is your guy, DJ Kuzmo. Have a blessed week. Be kind to one another. Stay used, my friends. Stay warm if you're in the Northeast. And peace.
I don't understand it, man. I don't understand why the end this year, Jinder Mahal, Veer Mahan, and Sangha aren't showcased on the show more. I don't need them in a main event spot. I'm just asking for them to have some kind of presence in the tag team division, a division that just always needs help just by default, especially the women's, but the men's too. Tag team wrestling has always been a division that is second in line, right? Or third in line or fourth in line or at the back of the line. So, and these guys have something there. I don't understand it. I feel like I'm repeating myself every week, and I'm sure you do too. It's kind of the same thing. Oh, wait, they might get going here. They're here this week. My God, Jinder Mahal's in the main event, and Sangha and Veer Mahan are outside the ring, and then they disappear next week. It's like, what is this start, stop? They can't just have them on some kind of mid-card program even? You know, it's frustrating. I don't know what they think they see or don't see with them, but they have something. And Jinder Mahal is a great mouthpiece for the group that can also take a bump and still wrestles. And Veer Mahan and Sangha, I think, have something as well. They have a presence. So I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm with you. All right, let's continue on here, guys. A couple more voicemails. I'm not going to get to all the voicemails, but we'll do a couple.
Hey, Matt, it's Brad in Florida. So I came up with a way, based on what I saw on Friday night with Cody and The Rock and everything, where they could have gotten to the same exact point where they got Roman versus Rock in a much more logical way, and I just wanted to run this by you, man. So you have Roman on Friday night cut the exact same promo, dissing Seth Rollins, but instead of what he did, and when Cody came out, you could have had Roman just say, now I want that championship too. Roman's greedy, that's in his nature, so he wants that championship too. You have Seth on Monday come out, do a promo. As he's limping around, Priest comes out, cashes in. Now Damian Priest has the World Heavyweight Championship. Now this frees up Seth to take the IC title or do whatever with Gunther at Mania, which would be great. And I think it solves a problem like, what do you do with Gunther? What do you do with Seth? Whatever. But then you have The Rock come out on SmackDown on Friday and say, hey, Roman, I heard what you said. You're not getting that title. You're not getting all the gold because you're going to have to go through me to get it. And I'm challenging Damian Priest for that title at Elimination Chamber or whatever. It could be on Raw. It doesn't matter. Rock versus Damian Priest. Rock takes out Priest, wins that championship. This is all before Mania. Very easy to do. No shame in Priest losing to The Rock at all. It's an honor. So now what you have is a scenario where The Rock has the WHC title, the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman has the Universal Championship. And night one, you have Cody challenge Roman Reigns. Cody wins. Cody has the championship he wanted. Night two, Roman versus Rock for the World Heavyweight Championship that Rock holds. You have Roman win, take that title. WrestleMania wins. Roman is still a championship holder on Raw. You have Cody with the correct belt. He got his match with Roman Reigns. But I think Cody is honestly like better as a chaser in a certain way. And I understand in a certain way what they did and why they did it. And I guarantee you, man, if Cody wins that championship from Seth Rollins, he's not going to have it more than 3 or 4 minutes before Damian Priest cashes in to end night one of WrestleMania. Mark my words. It will be the same thing that happened to Cody that happened to his father. He got the championship and boom, snatched from him. Just like what happened to Dusty. How much you want to bet that that's what happens? Because there's got to be a twist and turn in here somewhere, man. And look, we don't even know for sure if it's Cody versus Roman for sure. They haven't put out Rock versus Roman. They haven't even put out the poster yet. So we'll see, man. Thanks for taking the call. Let me know what you think.
Hey, Brad. Well, I have the benefit of watching the press event, obviously, and knowing that Cody Rhodes is officially challenging Roman Reigns for the championship. Again, The Rock is the wild card. We don't know what he's going to do. I will say that's a hell of a twist, but I think the problem with that is you're putting all your eggs in one basket. You're not allowing any other talent to breathe. You know what I mean? Like that's suffocating. Meaning, I don't hate your idea because it's a hell of a twist and would get people losing their minds, and people would. I mean, it would get WWE all over you think you angered fans with that, with The Rock interfering and supposedly taking Cody's spot. This would be nuclear, right? With Roman doing what you proposed. But I think on a real life level, it would be suffocating, where Roman is now in the World Heavyweight Championship picture. I understand Seth and Roman will have a proper program, and they should. But I don't think it should be done that way, because you're also alienating all the other guys on Raw that could have an opportunity, like a Drew McIntyre, right? Eventually an LA Knight getting an opportunity if he transitions to Raw, although I think he's probably staying on SmackDown for now. Eventually a returning CM Punk, who eventually will go after Roman Reigns. We know that, but you have just everything at that point would be about Roman Reigns. It would be about another, and what's it going to do? Be an absentee champion with the World Heavyweight Championship, the very championship that Seth built to be a visible weekly title. I mean, I think it would really take away from everything that Seth Rollins built about what that belt means. So for those reasons, I would say no. But boy, you talk about shock factor. That's not the worst thing I've ever heard in the world at all, Brad. I appreciate those ideas. You always come up with these things that like no one else is thinking or talking about. I don't know how you do it. You have a very original way that your brain's wired, and I like that. I like that. But thank you, Brad. I really appreciate the email. But I also, one last thing about Seth winning the IC title. That's, you know what? That's also not impossible. But the Damian Priest cash in, by the way, is probably coming against the World Heavyweight Championship. But I think that you could have Seth compete against Gunther at some point. And if Gunther retains at WrestleMania and Seth drops the belt, then you could have a Gunther-Seth program for the IC title. At the same time, Jey Uso looks like he's going to be the one to take it off Gunther. So that looks like the most likely scenario at this point. And Gunther at that point, if he loses to Jey, is moving right into the World Heavyweight title picture. So thank you, Brad. Let's get to maybe one or two more.
Oh, hey, Matt, it's Devin from Australia here. Yeah, I'm at a loss. I don't believe someone can be this like 50 times as stupid to stuff up the whole Rock Roman Reigns thing. It's just far out, man. Like, yeah, I want to go in there and bash heads together. But anyway, my other question is, they've started with the elimination qualifiers for the women, but they haven't mentioned anything about the men's. So is there going to be a men's Elimination Chamber match at Elimination Chamber? Because they haven't said anything yet. I'm sure they haven't said anything. I watched Raw the other night, and there wasn't any qualifying matches for the men, and we're only 2 weeks out. So, like, what's going on? They're calling it Elimination Chamber, and it's really only going to be one match where there's an Elimination Chamber involved. And have you heard of what other matches will be on? So anyway, yeah, those are just my two questions. Cheers, mate. Cheers, bye.
Hey, Devin. Good to hear from you. You got a big event in your country in just a couple weeks, but they have been very quiet on the men's side of the chamber. I mean, to me, it has to be for the number one contendership to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Has to be, right? There's no other option, because Rock and Cody and Roman are all entangled in, with each other in a massive spider web. So there's no chance that it's going to be for the Undisputed Championship. It's got to be for the World Heavyweight Championship. So that part of it, I think, is pretty locked down, but they haven't mentioned the competitors. There's been no qualifying matches. They've got like only a couple weeks of TV. They got to really rush these qualifiers for the men. Absolutely. That is a bit of a surprising turn, right? Like, but also Seth appearing and getting involved with The Rock and Roman and Cody is an interesting turn where, Seth is now somehow involved in this, and he was coming to the defense of Cody. So, like, how does that work out? Does Seth eventually get involved physically with that storyline over on SmackDown? How does that all work? Like, there's a lot to be kind of fleshed out here. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I will say, at least in the short term, the Chamber qualifying matches have to be coming soon for the men. They just have to be. I mean, there's no other option. They've got no time left. So we'll probably get a barrage of those coming the next couple of weeks on Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. But Bevan, thank you so much. And I hope you're well over there in Australia. And again, maybe I don't know. I think you said you're not attending the event in Perth, because I don't think you're anywhere close to that. I believe that's what you said a long time ago. But nonetheless, I hope you're well. I hope everyone's doing well here. And I appreciate all the calls and the emails. I understand. I see the other voicemails out there, guys. I know who you are. You know who you are. I will try to finish out the voicemail on Sunday on the back half of the week in review. That way we can get everybody's voice on the show. It's just, over an hour is kind of where I kind of hit the wall, right? So that said, I appreciate it. I'll get to all of the remaining straggling emails and voicemails on Sunday night's week in review. So look for it then. And if you guys want to continue to send your questions in or your comments in, mailbag@wwepodcast.com is the place to go. You can also call us. You can leave a voicemail. That is a thing. The number's in the description notes of all of our mailbags. It's a 518 number, so check that out there. And it'll cut you off at 3 minutes, so you have 3 minutes or less to make your point or your rant. I think that's a sufficient amount of time. So you can do that, or join us on Patreon. There's a Discord server for all patrons, a private Discord server, which is a lot of fun. And it's everything ad free, and you get an exclusive show that's every single Friday or Saturday, depending on when I release it. That's a adult version of the podcast covering a specific, usually wrestling topic, done by Anthony DeMarco. You can get that on Apple Podcasts as well. But yeah, so thank you everybody for joining me. What a wild, wild night. What a wild, really couple months we have leading into April 6th and April 7th in Philadelphia. So thanks so much, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Take care. I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.